something that I don't see. What can you learn from a bum, Omar? Shamsuddin? What I learned from a bum, maybe it's what not to do.
Nobody takes down Angel Snubbing Up 7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angel Snubbing Up 7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beef with Angel Snubbing Up 7. But you don't take me seriously.
Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. You can't touch this. Can't touch this. People all over the world.
See, they say that Angel Snubbing Up 7 don't care about the people. But Angel Snubbing Up 7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth, and I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money.
Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
For years, let the heaven of a system embrace you and praise the mother God.
All these lies and all this propaganda that you want us to say, we're gonna take out.
Buddy Joe.
Yes. I want that. Oh, I need that. Gots to have that. It's
black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't
We are
nobody.
in a state of emergency.
Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go.
Free your mind.
Keep it real.
What dear?
Cause I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
I got what I've got.
So I'm not your enemy.
I wanna talk to
I know who the enemy is.
I wanna talk
You wasting your time making mockery of me. Oh, I'm crazy. My brain is damaged. My EnVogue poster. I'm miserable in my life. All this nonsense that you talk about. And you a slave, just like me, in a racist nation.
I believe that with you by my side, together we can touch the sky. Hey, Fred Pepper, what you roll like?
You know, I was wondering, if you
is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. Is a house for love, and I've learned. Build it up, build it up, build it up. Is a house for love, and I've learned. I've learned a heart is a house. You got to feel it, and I've learned that it don't take much to break
that the nation of Islam should evolve into what we call the realities temple on earth. You don't need no Arab hand-me-down religion. You don't even need God. You don't need these things. That's good for us in our infancy, in our immaturity, when we was babies. But as we grow and mature, and even in religion itself, it says that we are the children of God. children can't stay children forever. Children must become adults. So if we are the children of God, that means we become God. Act like God, move like God, and have the responsibility of a God. If you say that I'm divine and I'm a prophet, where the hell did your ass go to? Why aren't you heeding the call? Why aren't you helping me get this message across? Since I'm a prophet, since I'm divine. Some people, excuse the language, some people just like talking out their ass. That's what they like to do.
This video is for the reality temple on Earth.
Shout out to the reality temple on Earth on IG.
We love watching it.
Yeah, we really do.
We send love, peace, and soul.
Brother. Yeah.
Good evening, soul brothers and sisters. This is Tangi Cox, the Black Sheep. And I am propositioning you to entertain just a little while of being in reality. And this is gonna hurt soul sisters and brothers because a lot of us cannot accept reality. I empower you to, for 1 year, to subscribe to the reality temple on Earth. And at the end of 12 months, draw your conclusion of what have you learned in that amount of time. I empower you. You will never, ever, ever think, feel, or entertain nonsense ever again, period. I would like to see my soul sisters and brothers awaken. This requires time. You need to spend about a year watching, researching, and looking. The reality temple on Earth is life-changing, and I stand on that.
Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started. Ride, let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly.
I trust that feeling. Does anybody have any questions of me before I get out of here? Let's see what you guys are saying. What's up, Soul Sister Rona? Hey, Taalik. I'm the brother that did Mike Jackson in Tunica, Mississippi. Hey, now. Hello to Terry. Respect. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up.
Let's see. Taalik says, can you send a shout out to my platform, the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry? Our theme this year is After Purge Comes the Heal. Shout out to your platform, Taalik. All the best to you guys with continuing to stretch in perspective, to stretch in what is possible, and to continue to bring healing into the space of yourself and others. Yes.
You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving. The title that we've chosen for these few minutes is Black Men Seem to Fear a Race War. I want to say this. When we think about war, war is a terrible thing. When we think about war, there is death and destruction of not only the soldiers, but death and destruction of property and civilian life and little children and animals. War is a terrible, terrible thing. So we should not be quick, and nobody should be in a hurry to declare war and put ourselves in a position to shed bloodshed. It is not a good thing, and we should not wish for something called war. However, wars don't necessarily mean bloodshed, because you might have something like the hamburger war, where you have McDonald's and Burger King and Dairy Queen, all of these fast food chains are at war trying to get the consumer's dollar in that manner. And, you know, you can look at war in different ways. What brings me to these few minutes is that I was watching a video, and it was a brother speaking about Jasmine Barnes. Jasmine Barnes is the poor little sister. Some of you may not consider a sister. I heard that she's biracial, that she's black and Hispanic, from what I've been told. So you may not even consider her a little sister, but I do. I don't want to see any child taking their life taken so early. Nobody in their right mind should want to see that. But this brother, I forgot who the brother was actually, but he's not the only one. I've seen this on many occasions. I hear brothers, and in this particular case, this brother was talking about Jasmine Barnes, or Jasmine James. I think it's James. It's Barnes or James. This little girl that was murdered. She was killed in Houston, Texas. At first, they thought that a Caucasian man done it. And now they have two lost and ignorant young soul brothers have been accused. They said confess of that murder. For me, that whole situation is up in the air. I don't know, because you're dealing with people and a criminal justice system, so-called law enforcement, that we know that they lie. We know they make up stories. We know they frame people. For me, something is fishy, because they found these brothers so fast, so quickly. Hey, for Black Righteousness, hey, what's going on? What's going on? For me, we know that in this racist system, and I am a victim of that, I know that they can frame you, they can lie, they can make something seem to be what is not. My question, and what's fishy to me in the Jasmine Barnes case, is that these brothers, this whole situation happened so fast. You know, it didn't take a week, didn't take a month. Somebody snitched on them real fast. They got caught with drugs real fast. They was connected to the situation real fast. I heard that one of the brothers is a Facebook friend of the mother of the child that was murdered. A whole lot of... I'm just going to sit back in the cut. I have no real comment, but I just know that this whole thing, something is fishy. That's right. Real fast ain't good. Something about this is not calculating right. And we know that we're dealing with the criminal justice system that is sneaky, deceptive. So I have a question on that. Now look. So I was watching a brother. He was having a conversation about this. And his first concern, I guess he was concerned about the little girl that was murdered. But one of his concerns was, this was a ploy by white folks, or this is a ploy by pink supremacists
to cause a race war. Kill some of our children to draw us out, make us angry enough to have an outright race war. That was his concern. And not only him, but there are many others with the same mentality, the same mindset, that this is a ploy to cause a race war. Now, yeah, I say pink. I said pink people here because I don't like saying white people. Either I said pink or Caucasian, because pink, or rather white, in the English language, white means, or make reference to white means pure, holy, clean, kosher, so forth. And when we call these people white, basically you're saying that they are holy, righteous, clean, honest. They know they are not white. We know they are not white. And even by skin color, I mean, this is a little dirty, but this is white. They are not white. They are more pink, red looking people than white. So I'm not going to turn around and call them something they know and I know that they are not. Matter of fact, they are the ones that call themselves white. I don't know nobody that was calling them white. I know Kunta Kinte and Roots called them Tuba. And I know that the Native American people called them the people with the forked tongue, pale face, things of that nature. Some people call them the devil. They are the ones that call themselves white. I'm not going to call you white. I'm sorry if you don't like it. I'll call you Caucasian. I'll call you Caucasian, but I'm not going to call you white people. I'm going to call you pink or Caucasian. I'm not going to call you white because that's not what you are. You are not an honest people. You're not a righteous people. You're not holy. Your history that you write, not that I write, the history that you write shows that you're not white and you're not right. Matter of fact, you bring shame to the color white. And that's all I need to say on that. Going back to our topic, I just want to bring some clarification on that, because one of my wonderful subscribers, they just want to know, pink, why are you calling these people pink? Pink, red, pale face, speak with forked tongue, tuba, anything, I'm not going to call you white. Caucasian, all right? Now, so, I'm listening to these brothers. They do not want to get involved in a race war. And I understand why you don't. Like I said in the beginning of our conversation, you know, war is a terrible thing. Nobody wants to go to war. Nobody wants to do that. But why would you fear that? If somebody, even if it is intentionally, murdering your children, murdering your wives and your girlfriends, if they are doing this intentionally, why wouldn't you want to go to war to protect your babies, you being a man? Why would you fear that? So I have a problem. I have a problem with men who are afraid to go to war. I'm not telling you to be a fool. I'm not telling you to just go out here and act any kind of silly way. But if somebody is raping your mama, lynching your fathers, then there's a problem. You should not be afraid to go to war physically if that's the case. You should not be afraid. You should not be afraid. That's our problem. Fear. We have sat around. Remember, I know You don't want to think about going to war, and see, it should be an option. We talk about everything. We talk about surviving R. Kelly. We talk about Zaza Ali. We talk about what the Advice Show done. We talk about Jasmine Barnes. We talk about what's going on in the news. What's happening on CNN. What's happening in Africa. But when it comes to dealing with our situation, the reality of our situation in this country that we have to be dealing with for the last going on 500 years, we don't want to put on the table as an option to go to war. You should want to go to war. There is no animal on this planet, if you attack their family, you attack their babies, they go into war. They will worry about getting hurt later on. You don't hurt my babies, you don't hurt my family. You are the protector, then why don't your ass protect? You don't want to put that on the table. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm not a bad person. I'm not sitting around here, I'm not going to tell you, oh, I'm bad. I'm a bad guy and I'm Mr. Brave or whatever. But I'm not going to allow you to push me. I'm not going to allow you to bully me. If you want a damn race war, I'm going to give it to you. I'm coming for you. You don't have to come looking for me. I'm going to bring it to your damn house. You're not going to kill my children. You're not going to kill my dog. We have become afraid. We buckle down as men. What kind of men are we? These people are bullies. They have been bullying us going on 500 years. And the reason they do what they do, they murder our children, throw us in jail, discriminate against the reason why they do all the things that they do to us is because we sit back and allow it. The only thing we can do is cry, and...
Hello, everyone. The wait is over. It's finally here. Season 4 of The Family Business on BET+. Watch it tonight. I will be watching. See you there.
It's important for the Black youth especially to know that we did have a history and that we did great things and that we had great people, and those things were not in the history books when I was in school. And what I'd like to be doing 5 years from now is attempting to rewrite the history books so that they'll know that.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns.
Walking in my Balenciennes, trying to bring out the fabulous. Cause I give a fuck way too much. I'ma need like 2 shots in my cup. Wanna get up, wanna get down. Oh, I've been so down and under pressure. I'm way too fine to be this stressed, yeah. Oh, I'm not the girl I was or used to be. Bitch, I might be better. Turn up the music.
Play and hold hands, talk about we shall overcome. All thing we gonna do is march on Washington or whatever, talk about justice or else. Justice or else what? You're afraid to tell these bastards, you mess with me, you're going to pay a price. Because a price will be paid. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's right. Even the Bible said there's a time for peace and there's a time for war. Welcome to the floor, Brother Leon. The Bible said that. Y'all supposed to be Christians. There's a time for peace and a time for war. You cannot keep letting these people bully us. That's why they keep doing what they're doing on and on and on. I'm a victim of a bully. And as long as I was docile, as long as I tried to do the right thing, the bully crap went on and on and on. There was no stopping it. Until I put my foot down, I stood all I can stand. I can't stand no more. That's when it stopped. Kill me. I told the bully, kill me. Do whatever the hell you want to. But the bullying stops right here. And it stopped. You have to let them know. You have to let your enemy know that the same blood that you shed for me, you can shed the same type of blood. The thing about a bully is that a bully don't want to get hurt. A bully always mess with people that won't do nothing to the bully. Like the United States. The United States know they can pick on North Korea, they can pick on Iran, they can pick on Iraq, they can pick on all these other little countries. You don't see them acting all big and bad when it comes to China or Russia or any nation that can give them a run for their money because they're a bully. You live in a nation full of cowards. The racist, pink, Caucasian people are a group of cowards. Yes, they have all these guns. Yes, they have drones. Yes, they have all this type of stuff. But you have your brain. And this is war. This is not 1925. This is not 1940. This is not 1930. This is 2019. Use your brain. If necessary, you can throw down with a little something too. Use your brain. And then look, some of y'all claim that y'all got white friends. Well, if your white friends really on your side, then you get your white friends, to back you up. It's so much that we could do. I'm going to make a video talking about it. I'm not going to do it on this one. That's right. Brains versus a gun. Use your brain. But see, you don't know how. See? You don't know how. There are people on here that claim to be a general. They claim to want to lead you to war, but they have no idea of how to go to war. We already know, physically, outright, there's no way that you can one-on-one take on this devil. We already know that. They know that. That's the reason why they're so big and bold. But when you use your brain and come up with a strategy that they are not used to. Oh, man. Somebody in the chat room said this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because you don't know how. It's ridiculous because you have no idea of how to deal with an enemy. It's ridiculous because you don't know how to use your brain. It's ridiculous because you're dealing with somebody out of fear and you have already lost before the war has even begun. That's why it's ridiculous. The reason why I'm talking to you right now is because I face great power. The only thing I had was my brain. And I'm talking to you because my brain showed me how to win. And I didn't even have to fire a shot. And you could do it right here, the same kind of way. War is not always about a gun. It's not always about a pistol or a cannonball. It's about being smart, going to war. War can be waged all kinds of different ways. But you don't let nobody bully you around. We are a bunch of cowards. And this is the reason why our women don't have no respect for men, because we don't act like men. You cannot continue to sit around and allow an enemy to bully you. The president of this nation said the only thing to fear is fear itself. Y'all too damn scared. You lost the fight and don't even try. Just the thought of it, you lost. So you would rather sit around here and be a little sissy. And another thing is that you scared to lose the little crumbs that your massa done gave you. I'm an American citizen. I don't do that. Because you're going to lose your car and your house and your job, but you're a big sissy. You're a coward. You don't have no integrity. And they know that. This is why nobody respects the black man in this country. This is why we as men, soul brothers, this is why we are not respected by nobody. Folks come to this country all over the world, to our community, with no problem. And you sit back and complain, oh, the Asians do this, and the Arabs come and do this. Why are they there? Because you let it happen. When they come, you tell them, what you doing here? You're not welcome. Get the hell out. What you scared of? See, y'all a bunch of sissies. Then you want to make YouTube videos about it. Oh, the Arabs open up a gas station. Oh, the Asians open up a Chinese restaurant. Why are they doing that? Because they have no respect for the male. They have no respect for the men in the community, because you don't do a damn thing about it. Oh yeah, you can open up a gas station, but you're gonna do it. You're gonna benefit us. Oh, it don't benefit us. I'm in America. I can do what I want. You in America, but you ain't gonna do it in our neighborhood. So all of a sudden, the Chinese restaurant, the Arab joint, all of a sudden, there's a mysterious fire. You don't bring that here. But everybody comes here because they're not scared of you. You're not going to do a damn thing. Except you're going to buy gas from the Arab, and you're going to buy Chinese food from the Chinese. That's what your happy, scared ass going to do. That's what you're going to do. And they take their money, take it to the Arab community wherever they live, to the Chinese community where they live. The hell with you, because you're a punk. We're a bunch of punks. And then you sit around and want to make videos about black women. Oh, black women, they do this, the weaves, and black women need to do, black women do this wrong and blah, blah, blah. And you sit on your ass and let all these foreign suckers come in here. In fact, they come to the neighborhood. Matter of fact, they even come to the neighborhood and they come to buy sex from your woman. And rape and use your women as prostitutes. And the only thing you can do is sit back and you don't do nothing. If a punk tell me or make a threat to me, talk about, you want a war, we gonna do it. You talking about killing my mother and my aunts and my uncles and my children and my grandfather, then we got to go to war. All these videos, I'm subscribed to 300 different black YouTubers. Nobody talks about or talk about putting the option on, look, we need to deal with this once and for all. And if you gotta go to war, then let's do it. Military action should be on the table. Nobody talks about that. Why? Because you don't want to lose the little crumbs that you got. You would rather be known as a little sissy. And you have the nerve, these guys have the nerve to call people, you a sissy, and you a bee, and you coward. Look at you. You've been living with racists going on 500 years. You don't make no laws. You don't control a damn thing. Nothing. And you proud of that. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. You a Republican Democratic slave. A Negro. You don't mean nothing. Your vote don't mean nothing. Everything about you don't mean nothing. You're nothing. You're a coward. Nobody respects you. Nobody respects a coward. Nobody. Even you. You don't respect a coward. So don't you threaten my mother and my daughter, our children. You don't even threaten my dog. You're going to get a response from me. I'm not going for it. We sit back and let anybody do anything they want to us. That's what we do. You should be sick of it. I would rather be dead. I'd rather go to my grave fighting as a man and die with honor than die a coward like y'all sissies do day in and day out. A brave man died one time. A coward dies over and over and over again, and I know. Because at one time, I was a little sissy boy. And I died over and over and over again until I get to the point where I decided to stand up for myself. So you're going to tell me that standing up and fighting for yourself is ridiculous because you're a coward, because you're afraid, because you don't know how. Why don't you stand up? Why don't we stand up and be a man for a change? Get some respect. So what if you lose the fight? So what if you lose the war? I guarantee you, you will gain some respect. But you're not going to gain any respect being a little sissy and a little coward the way that we do right now. Talking about everything except really changing the condition and getting this beast off our back once and for all. I'm not brave. But there's only so much I can take. I'm not going to keep letting people bully me around. I'm not going to do that. You keep doing that. Then you wonder why you're not getting any respect from our women. Because the women see that they are surrounded by a bunch of men who are a bunch of cowards. I don't like you either. Bunch of cowardly, sissified men. I don't like you either. You want somebody, these men want somebody to babyfy them and make excuses for their cowardice. And they're being weak. Your ass is weak. You're a coward. I'm not going to babyfy you. I'm not going to babyfy you. You want somebody to babyfy you, you need to go back to your mama. That's who you need to go. And she should be ashamed that she gave birth to a punk like you. And maybe you came from a single mother household, I guess. And a lot of y'all come out of two-parent household, y'all sissified too. So don't even go there. Y'all a bunch of sissies too. Hold on to your job. The little crumbs the massa gave you from your table. I'm sick of it. I want to be free or nothing at all. Just like that Peckerwood said, give me liberty or give me death. One or the other. That's what I want. Tired of it. And you should be sick of it also. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Thank Thank you. That's my rant. I declare war. Those of you who are Muslims,
She was more like a beauty queen from a scene. I say no matter, but do you mean I am the one? Go and dance on the floor in a round. She says I am the one. Go and dance on the floor in a round. She told me her name was Billie Jean. As she crossed the scene, she said I had her as a dream, being the one. Go and dance on the floor in a round, baby. People always told me, be careful what they do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. And mother always told me, be careful with your love. Be careful what you do. When your love become the truth. Hey, I feel it, Jane. That's not my love. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. She says I am the one who knows, but the kid is not my son.
I ain't impressed.
The deacon said, imagine how Michael Jackson felt when he told Joseph, I want out of the Jackson 5. Michael wanted his freedom. Ever since he was a little boy, he was under the yoke of a dictator. It's my way or the highway. Somebody that abused him, beat him, made mockery of him. He was nothing but a slave. Michael Jackson was a slave.
Can't believe in all you have to say. You couldn't be so. 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 You couldn't be so.
it says, never be the aggressor, but fight with those who fight with you. We are not the aggressors. We have not done nothing to these damn people. Somebody always want to jump on us, talking about us, want to kill us. We don't do nothing to these damn people. Somebody always want to jump on us. You should be sick of it. You should not take it standing still. If somebody want to declare war on you, don't get scared. Bring it. Bring it. If you die, die with honor. Don't die like we've been doing for the last 400 years. Like a little sissy. You should be sick of it. I know I am. These men should be talking about putting an end to this once and for all. You should be sick of it. I don't give a damn about surviving R. Kelly. Because when I get my own, when I control my own, R. Kelly got a lot of problems on his hands. I will deal with R. Kelly and any other pedophile, any other murderer, anybody that causes harm to what I love, my family, our nation. So you have to deal with the predator. R. Kelly is a predator. We got to deal with the predator, which is white supremacy, pink racism. Once and for all, you got to get that off your back. You gonna respect me whether you like it or not. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. If you slap me in my face, I'm gonna slap your ass back. That's just the bottom line. You punch me in my nose, I'm gonna punch you in your nose 2 times. We should be sick of it. Sick of it. I know I am. That's right, Brother Leon. Christianity does say that, but I know some Christians who's not going to do that. There are a lot of Christians that I know, they're not going to turn the other cheek. You hurt their wife, you hurt their children, they going to get their shotgun. So all Christians don't go for that. They'll talk about, after they shoot you in your ass, they have to have a talk with they have to have a talk with God about that. They're not going for it. But we should be sick of it. We should be sick of these Negroes that's scamming us. We should be sick of all these folks that's doing all this crap to us. Not only the Peckerwood, all these Negroes that's scamming our people, lying to our people, leading our people to roads to nowhere. All of it needs to be done with. You should be sick of it. And I guarantee you, your women, our females, when we stand up as men, and I tell you this, it's a lot of sisters that don't want to sit back in the background. They ready to go to war too. They ready to roll. They tired of it. Because we are protecting our women, and our women ready to protect their babies, their children. The family is ready to go to war. You should be sick of it. Not just the men, but we as a people, this got to stop. You're going to respect us. Ooh, man, I wanted to say something, but y'all know I don't get into the profanity thing. But sometimes you got to let it flow. Sometimes you got to let it flow. If we are family, if somebody attack you, they attacking me, we all in this together. We all up in here. We all. You do not attack Brother Fletcher. You don't attack Sister Ann. Your Sister Ann, Brother Fletcher, those in the chat room that support this ministry, we family, we all got to go to war. We all got to get to swinging. Nobody starve. If we starve, we all starve together. We family. We go up together, we go down together. This is how we have to roll. This is the reason why people are attracted to gangs, because gangs make them feel like they are part of something, make them feel like they are under some type of protection. This is why people are attracted to gangs, because gangs make them feel like they are part of a family. We're not a gang. We're just a people that's striving, that's sick of the bull crap. You're going to leave us alone. I'm not going to talk about it. We're going to be about it. You hurt me, I'm going to hurt your ass right back. It's simple as that. So if we as men are supposed to be the warriors, we the kings and the gods, then it's our responsibility to make that a reality. 500 years of living with these damn races, and we have done nothing. You gonna respect me. It don't make no difference if I win the fight or lose the fight. I guarantee you, you gonna respect me. And when you try to do it again, you gonna think twice. Better leave me the hell alone. That's just the bottom line. With that said, y'all, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Wow, this subject got a lot of activity going on. But I'm serious though. I'm serious as a heart attack. I had to deal with this type of thing in my personal life. And I kept running. I kept being scared. The situation kept getting worse. The only time it came to an end is when I decided I gotta fight. Win or lose. I told that bully, you can beat me up, you can kill me, but I guarantee you today, the bullying stops. We are living in a nation of bullies. All these people are cowards. These racist pinks are a bunch of cowards. They need their gun. They need their gun, they need their nuclear weapons, whatever. I guarantee you, one-on-one, with no weapons, we'll whip the hell out of them easy, and their population outnumber us. They're a bunch of cowards. They gotta hide behind a gun. They gotta hide behind a tree. They're a bunch of cowards. I don't respect them because they're cowards. Respect me as a man. Pay me what I'm worth. Treat me as an equal in this nation. That's what you need to do. If you can't do that, leave me alone. I'm going to plan how to get the hell out of here. A bunch of cowards. In order for them to get my respect, they're going to have to earn it. So,
And all this propaganda that you want us to say, we're gonna take out. Freedom for my mind, freedom for my spirit.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I am the gatekeeper or the host of this particular program, known here on social media as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. The subject that I have chosen to partake in upon this time period, within this time frame, upon this video, however you want to say, the subject is black men can win a race war. First of all, it is so sad that we would have to entertain even the thought of war. Because when one thinks about war, we think about the destruction of property, the extreme violence, the loss of life, the hatred, the displacement of individuals and families, and the destruction of families, and I could go on and on. We have an idea of what war is. So when we talk about war, we talk about black men being able to win a so-called race war. Why must black men even entertain the idea of a race war? It is because the war did not start today. The war started hundreds of years ago. And we have allowed ourselves to be the booty of a conqueror. That is why in today's society, booty is the rage. Whether it is the booty of some woman shaking her behind, or it is the booty that you get when you destroy another people, the benefits of the destruction of somebody else. That is called booty. Women were called booty. Diamonds and land and anything that you get from being the victor of a war is called booty. The war did not start in 2015. The war started as soon as a people or a nation decided we will enslave and we will become the aggressors unjustly against other people for our benefit. That is when the war started. So now, the racists who created race in order for there to be a race war, they are upset because their victims now are getting to the point, sick and tired, and regardless to the consequence, they are ready to take some type of action. And the racists are arrogant, and they tell us, you can't win. Well, some of you believe that. So, is that a true belief? Is that a true statement that black men cannot win a race war? As far as we know, and history verifies this, black men, black people, black women and children, for the last 400 years, we have been very, very peaceful, considering the evil and the horror that we have faced since coming to the shores of North America, or already being here in America, being turned into slaves for the benefit of others. Labor that did not benefit us yesterday, nor does that labor of our ancestors benefit us today. It is still hoarded by a vicious, unempathetic enemy. Black people are peaceful. You may say, well, look at the FBI statistics. Black people are violent. That is a violent lie. You cannot make slaves out of a violent people, because a violent people would not go for it. These who are the descendants of slaves, having dark skin, born in America, we are a peaceful people. Our ancestors were a peaceful people. That is why you were able to come in with your over-aggressive behavior and your lies, because our people were trusting and you were able to do what you done. You could not have done that to a people that were like yourself, violent. Well, I take that back, because the word slave comes from the time when the Slavic people who were Caucasian were enslaved. However, if you are docile and you are trusting, then you become more of a chance that you will become a victim of a person or a people or another nation that expresses such an aggressive behavior that you're not used to. Some of you may speak of Nat Turner. Nat Turner was violent. He killed all those Caucasian pink people during his rebellion. Nat Turner was a Christian man, and in Christianity, y'all say that Christianity represents peace. But Nat Turner and many other slaves were driven to violence, because violence was placed upon them unjustly. And it is natural for you to fight against that which brings you harm. On a personal level, I was bullied when I was a child. I never did anything to anyone. However, there were those who saw that I could be an easy victim, and I was bullied from the time I was in the first grade until the time I was a junior in high school. And I want to say, unfortunately, I had to go to war with those who were bullying me. And when I went to war with those who were bullying me, I found out, I want y'all who are scared of racists, I want you to understand that they and my bullies are not as powerful, not as strong as you believe if you stand up to them. I was afraid. Now listen to me. I was afraid of my bully. But I was tired of being harassed. I was tired of being chased. I was tired of getting kicked in the backside every day. Sick of it. The buck stops here. And when I decided to go to war and unfortunately, I had to turn to violence, then the violence against me stopped. The bully still tried to be bad, but ever since that time I decided to defend myself, then that bully, his whole demeanor changed. I was not number one on his priority to mess with. Matter of fact, he did not mess with me at all no more. If you take the proper action, and y'all need to stop playing games, all these marches and all these debates and all this other foolishness that you got going on. Take the proper actions. Overnight, these people will leave us the hell alone. I'm telling you this. So don't tell me that black people are not peaceful. Compared to the horror of slavery and Jim Crow, all those hundreds of years, black people all over the nation should have risen up and set this country on fire. Enough is enough. Sooner or later, people get tired. You have had over 400 years to keep messing with us, lynching us, making mockery of us. The buck stops somewhere. You gotta stop. And since you don't want to stop, then I'm going to stop you myself. Like Malcolm said, by any means necessary. You don't want to be violent. Brothers and sisters, we don't want to be violent. But how else when you're dealing with these people like this? What else can you do? I don't want to hear about voting and education and the single female family and all this other crazy stuff y'all talking about. You're getting kicked in the backside. You're being murdered on the streets every day. Your children not safe. And while I'm on the subject, not only does this message go out to racists, but the message should go out to anybody that brings harm to the black community, including black gang members. I would hope that the black gang members are on our side. But if they want to continue that type of behavior and bring death to the black community, then the black men need to stand up and give them the same whipping that the racists deserve. And you can win. Stop being so scared. If you're going to march, you march off to a real war. Yeah, but we going to lose. Let us see. Let us see if we will really lose. What do you mean by we will lose? The holy book of the Muslims, called the Holy Quran, it will back us up. It says clearly, fight with those who fight with you, but never be the aggressor. We surely are not the aggressor. We have done nothing to these people at all. We have been of a great benefit to these people. We have built their nation that they stole. Built it up from the ground up, and then they turn around and call us lazy. It is the lazy people that need slaves. We are the victims. We didn't have slaves. You're the one that went out and gotten slaves. Because you lazy and trifling. Filthy and nasty. And evil. History will verify everything I said. We have never been the aggressors. So the Bible and Quran is on your side. The evil of living in a racist society has gotten to the point you can't even get a traffic ticket. You go to jail and end up dead at the end of the day. How is that possible? I want to say to these punkified and sissified, chicken-eating Negroes, these so-called elders, with all this gray hair and you look silly, cut some of that stuff off. Well, that's a personal choice. You know, we are what we are. If you're old, you're old. But anyway, that's not my point. My point is, these so-called elders with all this wisdom telling our young people, y'all need to calm down. They don't need to calm down. You need to get angry. When I was dealing with my bullies back back in the day when I was a young boy, if I had gotten angry, I would have gotten...
We sell soul food. As a matter of fact, we've been told that Old Henry's is one of the few soul food restaurants in the city of St. Louis, in the state, and in the Midwest. We plan to start our food truck next month.
Okay.
Want that food truck to go all over.
Alrighty then.
So if we get the exposure, and we're already taking orders for events. We just took an order for July 31st. We took an order for July 29th. There's a guy who has a construction company. He owns quite a few of them, and we're going to be going to their sites and serving food, serving lunch, and we got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
All right.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm Angel Snub Nub 7. This is my friend
Ada Taylor.
Ada Taylor. This is Old Henry Restaurant. If you're ever in the St. Louis area, come check them out. We had a good time just celebrating my sister's birthday, and everything was A-OK.
All right. All right. Thank you.
You up. They don't need to calm down. You need to get angry. When I was dealing with my bullies, back in the day when I was a young boy, if I had gotten angry, I would have gotten rid of these bums off my back long time ago. But I was scared, and I really couldn't get angry. I was docile. So they kept doing to me what they was doing. You need to stop quenching the anger of the young, passing on this cowardice, this punkified attitude, this scary cat attitude to our babies, because they ain't scared. They sick of it. Then their children have to face the same thing. If I stop my bully, then my bully cannot bully my children. Because I, as Barney Fife always say from the Andy Griffith Show, I nipped it in the bud. The reason why this continue is because we refuse to nip it in the bud. Clearly, you ain't sick of getting your butt whooped by racists, terrorized by racists, harassed and oppressed, being done unjust by racists. If that's the case, then that's on you. But you better get out of our way when we come through. And you better not snitch. And you better not betray us. Because the racists ain't going to protect you. You ours, buddy. No more games. If you have to stop if we have to cross this line, then like they said in the 60s, baby is on. Tired of it. You can't go to jail and you end up hung. Silly stuff. That's not silly. I'm talking about we shouldn't have to go through stuff like that. Lord knows it ain't silly. The kind of madness that we tolerate. The racists say, and you believe that you can't win. On many videos, the racist pink people come out and they tell us, we will kill you wholesale. We got guns, we got grenades, we got bazookas, we got. I don't care what you got. My bully was far more powerful than me. Had more friends. I was all by myself, a loner. But the thing about it, I decided I would rather be dead than continue to be bullied by this bum and his sissified punk crew, because that's all they was when I decided to fight against them and defend myself against their aggression. I have the right to defend myself against aggression. I have the right to fight with those who fight with me. I did not do anything to my bully. Black folks have done nothing to the government or any racist person. No Chinese people here, no Asians, no Indians, no other Africans. We have done nothing to nobody, but we're always the brunt of jokes and making mockery and being exploited. That has got to end. Our children do not deserve that. We don't deserve that. We pay just as much taxes. We fight in the army. You better, no. So the racists say, you want a race war, you got it, bring it. You'll lose. We'll kill you wholesale. In fact, as you know, the government will get involved in that. So they'll bring their military, their drones and all this other stuff that they got. It's sort of scary, ain't it? You guaranteed to win. I mean, we are guaranteed to lose, right? Well, many of y'all believe that. Many of you believe that, and you haven't tried to do nothing. Fear keeps you from doing nothing, absolutely nothing at all. How do you know? You haven't even tried. Do you think that your enemy would tell you that you can win? Your enemy is not going to tell you that you can win. Your enemy is always going to tell you you're going to lose. Do you think that the North or the South believe if the North told them they're going to lose? The Confederate nations fought till the end. Yeah, they lost. But also at the same time, they made their point. And the federal government respected those who were defeated in the South. And that's why black people caught hell. Because they made these deals to keep those in the South happy. Because if they went to war one time, if the South went to war one time, if they succeeded one time, don't you think it's possible they'll do it again? Oh, we can't go through another civil war. Are you getting my point? Are you understanding, black man and woman and children, where I'm coming from with this now? Yeah, the South lost. But did they really? So you're going to lose. You haven't even tried. Bruce Lee, the great master of martial arts, philosopher, he said, defeat. I want you to listen to these words. I'm paraphrasing. But defeat is not reality until it is accepted as reality. I said that again. Defeat is not reality until it is accepted as a reality. You, before you have done anything at all, you have already accepted defeat as a reality. We can't beat them in a race war. Fear. You so scared. We need to stop being so scared. You should be scared of begging and marching and pleading and all this stuff. You are an embarrassing people doing that. Not that what we have done is not honorable, but you see it is ineffective. You're dealing with a people who don't have a heart. They have no conscience. They enjoy racism. They like this. The bully liked what he was doing to me every day. Laughed and joked about it and had fun. They read the posts on social media. They laugh at you, make mockery of you. But if you went to war and you began to put a whipping on them, I can guarantee you all that laughing, all that making mockery, all that stuff that you see, it will stop. Because now they feel the hurt that you have always felt. Do you understand? Oh, wow. You are defeated before you can even start. What if George Washington, the father of this country, not our father, but the father of this country that we're not citizens of, we're pretend citizens. We have to fight for rights that everybody else, even immigrants that just came off a boat yesterday, they already have it. We have to continue to fight for our rights, our humanity. But what if George Washington, the father of this nation, what if they had your attitude? What if George Washington and Patrick, what's his name, and Ben Franklin and all those guys, what if they had your attitude? Because George Washington and the pink people of this nation, they took on England. England was the greatest power at that time. It was the sole superpower. Great England. But George Washington and the early Americans said, we ain't taking this. You're going to lose, England told George. King George told little George in America, you're going to lose. We have ships. We have a well-trained army. We have everything. You don't have nothing. George told them, I got something that you might believe is nothing. I have heart. I have courage. And I have will. And I will get you off my back. I'm not paying no more of your taxes. I'm not accepting your oppression and your harassment no more. So they went to war for years. But when it's all said and done, George Washington and Patrick Henry, Ben Franklin, and the rest of them got England off their back, right? Did they or did they not? Was George and the other revolutionary people during that time, were they scared? Yes. But they knew they had to fight because they did not want to become a slave to England. Because basically that's what was happening. They do all the work and England was getting all the benefits. Nobody, it ain't happening. In fact, America had to go to war with England 2 times and beat them 2 times. Nobody can determine the outcome of a war. That's your assumption. I'm going to beat you. You're going to lose. That's what you assume. You have no idea of how this fight is going to end. Did you win in Vietnam? You said we're going to bomb them guys out of existence. You bombed them and you killed many, many Vietnamese people. Did you win the war? No. They sent you back home packing. And in fact, you left a lot of your artillery of war in Vietnam. You went to Afghanistan. Russia went first. Did Russia win? No. You went second with your arrogant self. You could do better than Russia. Did you win? No. So nobody knows the outcome of a war. Nobody. What is war? War is based on a goal. What is your goal? Is your goal, the reason why you're going to war is to get land, oil, women, water, other resources? What is your reason for going to war? So since this is a race war, what is the goal? The goal is that the black man and woman and children of this nation, we don't want your land. We don't want your money. The black man don't want your women. We don't want your children. What do you want? What is the goal? What is the purpose of this war? The purpose of this war is for you to leave us the hell alone. That's the purpose of the war. The purpose of the war is to kill you like you kill us. There must be a consequence when you take black life. Somebody got to pay for that life being taken unjustly. What you scared of? You're dying anyway. We've been suffering under this madness, this insanity going on 500 years. When are black people gonna stop playing games? Now, it would be foolish for me to come on social media and tell you of a strategy that could be used against this vicious enemy. But I want to give you some type of idea of what can be done. First of all, this war, this conflict should not be about killing people.
In my opinion, black music is the basis for all music. It has been, and that's just the way it is. So I don't think it's something extraordinary for us. I think it's just a part of us.
You know it. You grow it. If you try, you flow it. You won't be denied. When you grow, you grow. So you know what's on the line. I'll set you free. Oh.
Well, ain't that what war is about? Kill people if you have to defend yourself, brother and sister. For the purpose of self-defense, you have no choice. However, the purpose, if we are involved in a race war, the purpose of that war should not be to kill. Why do you say that? Because you do not kill racist pink people by murdering them. They love that. They want to show on TV how you are a killer and how violent you are, and your murder of them will inspire other pink people who may not like what racists do, not side with them, and finally see some type of empathy with your position. So it should not be about just murder of innocent persons, because chances are in every war many innocent persons are killed. So you want to limit the loss of life, collateral human damage. What will hurt? Now listen, see, you got to understand the nature of your enemy. Because, see, they are death. So they don't mind murder and death. They like that kind of stuff. However, watch the news. Watch them. When their property is destroyed, when they lose their money, material things, races are connected to the material things of the earth. You and I know they are not what you call spiritual. They are material. And many of you have become material. Spiritual people use material things in life, but we are not obsessed like they are with material things. But they are. Material things, materialism gives them value. I don't need gold. I don't need silver. I don't need a lot of money in my pocket to give me value. But for you and races, for many of you and races, you need a big house. You need cars. You need as much material things that you can get to give yourself some type of value. Without that, you have no value. Even God, the belief in God don't give you value. You got to have something material. So in a race war, it is not about just about trying to kill racist people or simply because somebody has pink skin. Otherwise, we are like them. You and I, we are not like them. We just want to be left to hell. I'm sorry, little children, but you know, this is a very emotional thing. Y'all heard the word hell. It's in the Bible. Going to hell. But you just want to be left alone. We want to be left alone. So to hurt them, all you need to do is destroy things. Destroy things. Races are arrogant. But I'm telling you, that arrogant thing is what will cause them to lose. You never underestimate your opponent. There are many people who laugh at their opponent, make mockery of their opponent, and then end up being embarrassed because their opponent beat them up really, really bad. They underestimated. The first time, back in the 80s, I believe, Mike Tyson, the boxer Mike Tyson, lost that fight. He thought he could drink. He thought he could play with women, screw around. Who was that? Buster Douglas. So he thought he was so great, he could do anything. And when he get in the ring with Buster Douglas, it was going to be nothing. Buster Douglas showed Mike Tyson something else. You never underestimate your opponent, no matter how weak, no matter how pitiful you think they might be. And this is the great mistake that race is going to make dealing with us. They think that we are not smart. They think that we are not brave. They think that we have no courage. They think nobody's going to help us in our fight against them. They're going to find out they are wrong. If you develop the right strategy, you, black man, and I'm talking to the black man because y'all claim you are the defenders of the black community. You are the defenders of women and children and all this macho stuff. Your opportunity is coming. Unless, of course, the racists don't want to go in that direction. They show us different. If they really feel you ain't playing no games. Do you know, if you have the right strategy, other people from other countries, I don't care what kind of security they have on the border, other people from other countries will come help us. We can also hire, what are those people called? Mercenaries. There are people, soldiers called mercenaries, you can hire, we can hire, that will come here and help us fight, if necessary. You and I should be sick of them. I'm sick of this. I don't love nothing about America. Not in the condition that is in. Stop telling me these lies about how great America is, when all America do and has done to black people is be an oppressor and a liar, a deceiver. If you don't want us around, stop playing games and say, look, we don't like you. Then you help us find another place to go. That's the bottom line. We should not, if we had any kind of sense, we wouldn't want to be around you. But there are those who just so in love with your evil, they want to be with you. Well, let them continue trying to work this stuff out with you. We shouldn't have to take this. We pay more than our fair share of taxes. Black folks have died in this nation, in your armed services. We have built this nation. In fact, that's why many of us don't want to leave America, because our blood is in this soil. And I understand that. But at the same time, you don't control the room. You're not even close to controlling the room. You pay the rent, but you have no rights. You pay just as much rent as anybody else in the house, but you don't have the privileges. So that's the problem. So are you willing to fight and die for that privilege? So what you getting upset with me for? Except I would rather get out of the apartment. Because clearly we're not getting along. The problem with a race war for the races is that you will have a fight inside your house and you will have a fight outside your house. You cannot fight an enemy outside the house and an enemy inside the house at the same time for a long period of time. Something has got to give. Either you give the black man, women and children in this nation, you show us respect and give us justice, or you're going to weaken yourself where the enemies that you've been fighting all this time, now they see a way in your house and take you out for good. It's your choice. Be arrogant if you want to. No more playing games. Tired of racism. And I want to say this in my conclusion. To those people I call pink or Caucasian, calling so-called white people pink, that's racist. No, it's not racist. You are more pink than you are white. White in the English language means pure, holy, righteous, and so forth, clean. You have proven and you know for a fact you are none of these things. You are pink or Caucasian. And many of you act on your racism, your racist mentality that you were born into. You can't help it. Black folks in a racist society continue to think like a slave because that's how it's set up in a racist society. One people, regardless to what you see, one people look like the slave master and another people look like the slave. That's how it is in this nation. That's why since black people, the black man and woman, the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, this is the reason why we are treated the way we are, because we have been placed in a slave-like condition. And that's why we don't get any respect. That's why we are always made mockery of, mistreated, done unjustly. Same thing that happened to our ancestors who were slaves. You go to jail for a traffic ticket because you did not signal properly. They do this every day in and out of any city, around any corner. Clearly, that was a case where some racists wanted to do some harm and find a victim. That's all that was about. And whether, in this case, this poor sister, whether she committed suicide or she was murdered, it makes no difference. The bottom line is that if it was not for this racist beast, she would still be alive today. But I want to say, again, in my conclusion, I want to say this to Caucasian people. It's not about hate. Well, in a way it is. Because you should hate oppression. You should hate injustice. You should hate those that do you wrong. Those who actually cause your murder. The loss of life to your brother, to your sister, to your mother, to your uncles, your aunts. You would be upset also. The black man and woman in this country, we hurt from this. Been dealing with this for almost change, things are getting better, then the same old crap start all over again. Killing black folks, putting black men in jail, all this stuff. Getting sick of it. That is one of the number one reasons why I don't want children. I don't want to bring my children into this madness. And y'all just having babies like babies going out of style. I don't care how many babies are aborted in the clinics. Y'all still doing a good job keeping up. I don't care what the census or any other source is saying. All these baby carriages and cribs and diapers I see black folks buying all the time is Similac. And why would you want to be bringing these babies into this situation anyway? When you're not willing to face a vicious enemy that's eating your children.
Just keep it going.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain? What about killing fears? Is there a time? What about all the things that you said was yours and mine? Did you ever stop to notice all the blood we shed before? Did you ever stop to notice this crying earth, this weeping shore?
Just keep it going.
How did the earth come? Who gives a damn? We are here. Learn how to live, learn how to love other human beings. Learn how to have appreciation and respect for the earth, animal life, and the grass, and the trees.
Greetings, I'm Tangelica Cox. I had the pleasure of speaking with Taalik, Ibn'rad, and he has a movement / ministry by the name of the Reality Temple on Earth, and I had the pleasure of speaking with him for several hours today, and I think it's only fair that I do a reaction video to the conversation. And the conversation was on various topics, which was basically centered around African quote-unquote consciousness. And he was a real deep brother, very down to earth, very approachable. He didn't carry himself like a know-it-all. Someone you could talk to and really listen to you. It was such an honor to finally meet somebody over the internet that has a ear to listen, and not only an ear to listen, but will take full action on what they stand for. And I appreciated having that conversation with you, and I do look forward to working with you.
Yes, I am. I'm a soul man.
I'm very proud of her for her accomplishments, and I think more than anything else is that she's remained grounded. She's still Terry, you know. She still comes home and washes dishes, and she's still hungry all the time. So, you know, she hadn't really changed at all, with the exception of, I think she likes what she's doing a little bit more. I think she's on time for quite a few gigs because she has David to take care of if she doesn't show up on time. So it's a little bit different now, but we're all extremely proud of her. And I think she looks at it more of a blessing as opposed to a talent. And
yeah,
we see it as a job, so we just kind of keep her sane when she comes home as opposed to the glitz and glamour. So she knows that she's comfortable. She can come home and kick back, not worry about it, and just be a Southern girl.
Are you all right?
Get away!
Eating you for dinner, preying on your body. So the black man, the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, we hurt and have been hurting for 500 years. And you talk to us like you have no heart. So why are you shocked when we call you heartless and have no conscience? After 500 years, how can you expect people to trust you with this type of behavior that Caucasian people exhibit? Just because you go to bed with a black man, just because you marry a black man, just because you got quote-unquote black friends, that does not change anything. It has not changed nothing. All that did not stop that sister, Sandra Bland, from being harassed, and now she's dead over a traffic ticket. And everybody know it's because she was a black woman. It's not enough that you kill black men. Now the racists are going after black women and pretty soon black children. Nobody is safe. And you wonder why we talking about and the thought of war is being entertained? When the Caucasian people of this nation, when the same thing was happening to you, you had no problem. We got to go to war. With black folks, oh, don't do that. Calm down. Try everything you suggest. Education, voting. What else? Getting money. All this stuff y'all talk about. Sandra Bland is still dead. She was on her way to get a job. So if you are a Caucasian person and you really hate racism, then you have no problem with what I'm saying, and you will take up your gun. You will take up your bazooka. You will take up your arms, and you will side with us. It's all about strategy. What can America do if we have many lone wolves that set fires to your forests, set fires to your nuclear facility, your power plants? It's so many things. Somebody with a creative mind. Black people are already in here. What you gonna do? Put us all in concentration camps? You're already trying that with your prison industrial complex. Break into prison and get all the black men out. Because they can't break out. But what about somebody using weapons to break in your prison and let black, white, Mexicans, and all these people out of the prison? Come join the fight. What you think? Chaos, mayhem, anarchy, bring it. If black people can have no peace, you ain't getting no peace either. And you talking about black folks gonna lose the war. Well, guess what, baby? You gotta bring some as to get some as. Nobody playing games with you. Well thought out strategy. Not gonna tell you, gonna surprise you. You think black folks is stupid. You think black folks is dumb. And above all, you think black folks scared of you. These brothers and sisters in the streets ain't scared. They got a bunch of coons and sambos and hambones. Sambo, see what I said, Sambo? Bunch of wacko coward Negroes that's telling them to calm down. You don't need to calm down. Tired of playing games. I'm not going to none of your debates. I'm not wasting the sole of my shoes on your ineffective march. That means nothing because you're not willing to do what I'm talking about because it's time. The Quran said, fight with those who fight with you. Never be the aggressor. 500 years, black people have never been the aggressor. We have been the victim. You talking about let us not be victims? Then we pick up, we do what we have to. No more, we're no longer going to be victims. You're going to be a victim too for a change. The Caucasian people always telling black folks, stop being victims. We play the race card. The Caucasian people, y'all created, your ancestors, you created the race card. And every day in America, you can go to any court and you have a bunch of Caucasian people talking about they victims. But when it comes to black folks, oh, don't play the race card. Don't take advantage of anything on a racial, in a racial manner that you can benefit from, but they do every day. They go to court every day suing somebody because they victims. And black people, so-called Negroes, African Americans, whatever you want to call yourself, we go for that line from them. We love to take advice from an outright enemy that have done nothing for you, don't have no plans to do nothing for you, give you scraps, give you a pacifier instead of a real breast to feed on. They give you a pacifier so you can suck air. So I would say this. Let the racists believe they can bomb us out of existence. Let the racists believe they will kill us wholesale. Let the racists believe anything they want to. But you don't believe them when they tell you you're going to lose. Because that has yet to be seen. But if a situation arises, and it does come down to that, even if you do lose, black man, listen to me now. Don't be afraid to lose, because really, when it's all said and done, you will not be losing, because whether they tell you or not, when they bury their dead, when they have to replant their forests, when they have to rebuild their country themselves, they will respect you because you will do it again. And you're not no joke, and you're nothing to play with. So you will win regardless to what they talking about. And that's a fact. I like that. That's what King Noble says all the time. That's a fact. I want to make very clear that we don't want violence. We just want to be left alone. We want to be treated right. All this investigations and all this garbage, all this crap that you hand to us every time one of your races murder us. If the government, if the law punished these people the way that it should, then they would not be doing what they're doing, but other racist people would make millionaires out of these Caucasian people that murder black folks. And this is just a flash in the pan. We are still discriminated against in housing, in jobs, and everything else in this nation. But dang, you gotta kill me too? I'm already struggling. I already gotta watch my back and be very cautious dealing with racist pink people. And then I gotta wonder, will I be next to be murdered? What about black on black crime? If it was not for the situation that racists put us in, you would not have to worry about black on black crime. What about pink on pink crime? Mexican on Mexican crime? What about that too? So what? That's nothing but distraction from the issue. The issue is about you. It's not about black on black crime or Mexican on black crime. It's about what you doing. We need to deal with you first. Put them all in line. Dealing with you first. Deal with these other suckers next. Don't divert the situation and distract to keep the pressure off of you. So with that said, brothers and sisters, we need to stop playing games. If you don't want to get real, then you might as well sit back in the cut and just say, well, it is what it is. But for those of us who have grown tired, our sister Fannie Lou Hamer said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Then we organize ourselves, and if you kill one of us, if you murder one of us, then you got hell to pay. Now those other Negroes that love you, then they're on their own. And I will shed no tear for a fool, for cowards. And I want to tell these people who want to snitch and betray us, it's not like it's going to be a whole new ball game. You better take down your YouTube videos and all this other crazy stuff you got that show that you a traitor to your own people. You dang silly, cowardly fool. Need to stop playing games. For real.
In honor of Women's History Month, we've been talking with female leaders in sports, politics, business, and entertainment. And this morning, we are focusing on
Every Friday during Women's History Month. All month long, we've been celebrating Women's History Month by talking with female leaders in sports, politics, business, and entertainment. And
I keep it real.
What, dear? Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Whoa, don't slip up or get cut. Why not, man? I'm coming for that #1 spot. All right. Woo. Rappers swearing they own top. But I'm coming for that #1 spot. All right, man. Scheme, plot. Say what? I'm coming for that #1 spot. Woo. Hey, keep it going, it won't stop. What you doing, man? I'm coming for that #1 spot.
It's so good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Lauren says, I've been fighting cancer since 2020 using no chemotherapy, holistic medicine, just sheer willpower. Doctors don't understand. No pain meds. Blast. Shoulder brush, man. Wow. Wow. Powerful. All the best to you on that journey. I'm sure you'll have quite the testimony, and quite possibly you have it right now. What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself, Lauren, in taking that route for your healing? What's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself? Very curious to hear that. Wow. New Year. Happy New Year. Lauren says, do you feel our diets affect mental health? Absolutely. Are EnVogue vegans? No, I'm not. I'm a pescatarian. We have vegan diets at times, but not full on vegan. No. Let's see. I lost it. Oh, let's see. Okay, I gotta come back to that. Come back. This chat's moving on me. Shucks. Okay, I tried that and other so-called healthy diets and still contracted cancer. Well, sir. Ooh, that's so interesting you would say that. You know, some people also think that your mindset can cause dis-ease. Emotional spaces that have not been healed can cause dis-ease. Not just food, not just the outer environment, the inner environment.
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving. Peace forever and always. My black people, it's all about the unity. They can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so. You couldn't be so.
3, 2, 1. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another edition of what I call Soul Liberation Television. And tonight, for me, is very special because we are going to revisit 12 years ago, the race war of 2028. I'm your host tonight. My name is Ibn'rad. I am the adopted foster child of Taalik Ibn'rad, and I would like to dedicate tonight's show in memory of Angel Snub 7, my father, Taalik Ibn'rad. And just for a few seconds, I would like to just have a moment of silence. A moment of silence for my father, Angel Snub 7, and all those who fought and they died and they sacrificed so that we could be here broadcasting in the manner that we are tonight. So thank you. Could you just close your eyes for a second and hold our heads down just for a minute, and let's just give a moment of silence and memory. Thank you so much. It is a wonderful time that we live in 2040, but it was not easy getting here where we are today. It was the sacrifice of people like my father and all the great ones going way back to Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois and
Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, and the list just goes so on and on. Unfortunately, it took a great tragedy in order for us to be in the position that we are right now. It's not perfect, but I think my father would be happy to know that we seem to be on our way tonight. This evening, I'm so happy, soul brothers and sisters, that you can join me in revisiting the race war of 2028. Bringing back in memory and always never forget our fallen soldiers, men and women, who sacrificed and they died in order to make a future for us better. So we want to go back, way back, and examine the events that led up to the race war of 2028. In 2027, President Donald Trump Jr., he decided to run. As you know, his father was president, and he decided that he would run. And he did run against many odds. And just like his father, nobody didn't expect him to win. And Donald Trump Jr. became president of the United States, 2027. So, when we examine 2027, what was going on, we have President Donald Trump Jr. A world war is looming because of the policies that Donald Trump Jr.'s father started and some of the things that white folks just do in general. As Malcolm X said, chickens coming home to roost. And so now the chickens are all coming home to roost. And the nations of the world have gotten to the point where they have gotten sick of the United States of America, their racism, their bullying, their silly sanctions, depending on their stupid dollar bill. The people of the world, including other European nations, are sick of the United States of America. At the same time, during the Donald Trump Jr. administration, there's a great drought all over the world. There's a drought going on, including the United States of America. There's a water shortage. There's also a food shortage, because without water, you can't grow food. You can't grow the animals. You can't grow the crops that you need in order to feed your people. So now there's a drought and a food shortage. And the drought and the food shortage is making the real people come out, because everybody's surviving. Everybody's trying to live. Your dollar bill don't mean nothing if you can't eat, you can't drink. And because of the policies of the United States in recent years, there's people don't want to, they're not exporting and importing in the United States. And the nation, which during good times pretend to be together, everybody is more divided. The white people are more to themselves. The Mexicans are more to themselves. Of course, the black community, nobody did not want nothing to do with the soul community, so we always been ostracized. But now it's even more. Nobody really wants to deal with one another, because you are sharing resources. There's not a lot of water. There's not enough food. And now the atmosphere full of these toxins from these factories from decades is coming down on the populace lower and lower. And the people are filled more with cancers and sickness. And now it just takes a little something to cause something to pop off. Life for soul brothers and sisters. They say times is changing. Things are getting better. But for the black man and woman, soul brothers and sisters in America, it seems as though, and it is a fact, that things are the same, in fact, even worse. And we are beginning to learn as a people, no matter how much money we make, no matter how much education, no matter what we do, we will never be good enough in this nation. And because of the current drought and because of all the outside elements that's caving in on America, even our celebrities, even those who have money, those who think that this would not have an effect on them, they are being affected. They are seeing that the life they thought they was trying to lead in the hood, it has begun worse. And when America comes into this type of situation, they always need to find a scapegoat. And of course, the first scapegoat has always been soul brothers and sisters. And of course, since the time of Donald Trump Sr., there was an effort by the media, the racist media controlled by the Caucasian people, to paint black folks, dark-skinned people, as sex fiends and criminals and thugs and just savages. And so now it's gotten to the point where these racists even attack the grave sites of our celebrities. The tomb of Michael Jackson was destroyed. These grave sites of our celebrities, showing you these people really don't lost it. They really don't care. Our celebrities is desecrated. In 2027, there was an effort, and somebody actually used a rocket launcher to knock the head off the monument of Martin Luther King in Washington, D.C. It's still under investigation by, of course, the federal government, but at this time they don't care nothing about that. It's too much stuff going on for law enforcement to care about a statue of Dr. King. In fact, good riddance to bad rubbish. They clean the mess up and make America great again, which is still the war cry by racists and these others. Let's make America great again. 2027, something that probably would lead and would be the catalyst, the beginning of the race war in 2028. Some brothers and sisters influenced by my father's Mississippi campaign actually made a headway. And by 2027, they had established and renamed 2 towns. They had come together and called that town New Africa in the state of Mississippi. And due to the leadership of a brother, Rексparations, Reese and the brothers and sisters took the land and took the resources of those 2 towns, brought them together, created New Africa, Mississippi, and they used the donations and the money they could raise, and it became a thriving environment. In fact, made news all over the world because nobody thought it was possible that savages like the black man and woman in America could actually do something for themselves and thrive without white people. Well, of course, this is the United States of America, but still, Brother Reese and the brothers and sisters who was following his leadership shown the world and themselves and us as a people something proud for us to look at. And that town in Mississippi, New Africa, Mississippi, we as a people, we began to flock down to visit and see what those brothers and sisters was doing. And of course, it made international news. Thriving. The brothers and sisters growing their own food. They had cows and chickens and a meat packing plant and other things. They was taking care of all their different needs there. Barbershop in that town. Their own barbershops and bakeries and all this. They were not depending on the white man for electricity. They had learned how to put up those large things for solar power using the wind. Man, beautiful thing all over this country. We was very proud of those who were part of New Africa, Mississippi. Then, of course, you always have those who did not like that. And they always was trying to find ways to bring negativity to something that clearly was a beautiful thing for us. There was very little crime, very little problems coming out of New Africa. But living in the United States, you don't have to ask for trouble. Trouble comes to your door when you have dark skin. What could be wrong? What could be wrong with New Africa, Mississippi? I asked my father, and I told my father when I was a little boy, I was adopted by my father and his wife. I said, Daddy, that New Africa, can we go and live there? That's a wonderful place to be, Dad. And my father told me, he said, son, that's a beautiful, wonderful, incredible feat that was accomplished in New Africa. But it's too small. It's not in a position to survive when you have so much that's against us. I'm like, Daddy, what do you mean by that? My father told me that even though New Africa was a wonderful, beautiful thing, that we were going to wish that we had implemented what was called Operation Exodus Mississippi, which influenced Brother Reese and his people in New Africa, Mississippi. So everything for New Africa, Mississippi going very well. Even though there's a drought, even though there's a food shortage, because of all these things going around, seem to have no real effect on New Africa, Mississippi. But my father predicted something. And then one day we heard on the news that
Hello YouTube, this is Tangelica the Black Sheep. I am welcoming you to join me on my new YouTube page where I'll be discussing motivational
What's up, you guys? My name is Josiah, and I'm the son of the creator of this YouTube account, and my mom. So I just wanted to tell y'all to go to YouTube and type in Tangelica story. So it's like a 6-minute video, it's not too long. But just type in Tangelica story. So that's TANJALIKA story, and this should be a picture of me in a gray shirt that comes up, and it's basically a story of me and my mom, like talking about our homelessness and stuff, and like our whole, like everything that went on, like in our life and all. So go check that out. I highly recommend it. So
Hello YouTube, this is Tangelica the Black Sheep.
In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always.
Soulflower, I always said it was a gumbo of a mixture of different genres of music. A touch of neo soul, a little bit of the old EnVogue vibe, R&B.
You got my head spinning around, you got my feet off the ground.
Still today in 2004 has a contemporary edge to it, and it's in vogue.
It was some homosexual people and some interracial couples. And my father knew this. My father knew this was coming because that's the way of America. You're living with a bunch of troublemakers. They wait till you get established. Wait till you doing really, really well. Then they're going to bring crap to your door. So there was a homosexual persons who actually, they were relatives of some of the people in New Africa, Mississippi, and they wanted to move. And they was told that would not be allowed in New Africa. A part of the New Africa community was they did not accept those who were lesbians and gays, and part of their policy in that community was they did not accept interracial couples in New Africa, Mississippi. So these persons began to file lawsuits against the community of New Africa for violations against American citizens. And of course, New Africa was using their legal right to defend and show that they had the right in order to have this community to themselves. And this began to draw the media attention to New Africa. Negative, very much negative media to New Africa. In fact, New Africa wasn't even by the mainstream racist media, was not even called an American town. It was called a cult, some type of what they call that. Anyway, it's like David Koresh, some kind of compound. They did not call New Africa, Mississippi a town. They call it some type of compound led by a cult leader. They call Brother Reese a cult leader. One of the followers or one of the residents of New Africa made charges to law enforcement that their child was being held hostage, that they left New Africa, but their child wasn't allowed to leave with them. And they also alleged that there was child abuse and other abuse in that community. And so this brought in the federal government and state and local authorities. The state of Mississippi requested from the town of New Africa that they be allowed to come in and inspect that community, house by house, and ask the citizens questions. Brother Reese said, that's not gonna fly. We're not doing that. We're doing nothing. Those charges, those allegations by this one person, you cannot do that. The court ruled that it could be done because, as you know, the court is racist. Under Mississippi law, all allegations of child abuse must be investigated. And Brother Reese said, we're not going to allow you to come here and try to dismantle what we've built. And so the negotiations and some of the church leaders come into the community to have meetings with Brother Reese, and him and his people refuse. So of course, the Department of Welfare of Children's Services come in, and they want to inspect, they want to see these children, and they are accompanied by the police. And again, they are met with Brother Reese and his people saying no. And when Brother Reese, wink, wink, when they refused, as they was building this community, they fortified the community with different ways in order to defend themselves against an attack. And so just like Waco, Texas, and just like Ruby Ridge and some other places in the United States, began the standoff of New Africa, Mississippi. And this went on for a little while, the negotiations, and of course, the position of New Africa is no compromise. There was no compromise. And so soon the National Guard is brought in to back up the local police. And as you know, those of you who was living during that period of time, you know that this did not end very well. I believe that the first thing the enemy started doing, they torn down their windmill stations so they could not get electricity. They cut off their water supplies. They let their animals go. They run down their farms, hoping to starve Brother Reese and his people. And nobody does not know who fired the first shot, but it is alleged that Reese, somebody in that community, fired at the National Guard, and the Guard fired it back. And there was, of course, the gun battle, and they even had a tank, and the tank shot shells right into the middle of the community. Many people died and was injured. In a last-ditch effort to defend his community, Brother Reese was shot down by the National Guard. And all those who survived that community, they were rounded up and taken, of course, to jail in defiance of state and federal law. And as all this went down, there was crying out, of course, from the Black community. But like I told you, the racists had painted New Africa, Mississippi as some type of cult. And before they actually began to make moves on New Africa, Mississippi, they began to use their media to paint New Africa as a cult. And so even though there were voices in the Black community that did speak out against this atrocity and what the government was doing, nobody really took action because it was like you were supporting David Koresh, you know, that type of thing. But my father said he had predicted something like this would happen. And the reason why they perished like that, because it was too small. It was too small against something that was very, very big. You have to be big in order to deal with something that's big. It's too small, and it did not have the support of the 40 to 70 million soul brothers and sisters in this nation. They was basically almost alone. Even though many of us saw New Africa as something that was good, but at the same time, we doing our thing, they doing their thing, and my father said as long as we're divided, nobody's going to survive. It's New Africa today. It's going to be somebody else tomorrow. After the destruction of New Africa, the racist Congress, aiming, of course, using law always against Black people, passed a bill to give the death penalty even in minor crimes because of the food shortage, because of the drought and things of this nature, stealing from and whatever. And of course, our people being in the most desperate situation, they knew they could round up a lot of us and begin giving us the death penalty for stealing a piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken. So in 2027, it's getting worse and worse for us. But now, as you know, for the longest, we've been told that don't worry, things will get better. We're progressing. Have I described anything that sounds like it's progressing? Sooner or later, brothers and sisters, something got to give. Something, it just can't continue this way. So July 4th, 2028, something that would cause and create the circumstance that would bring about the race war of 2028. A soul family, a father, mother, and 3 or 4 children, July 4th, 2028, in New York, believe it was Queens, just celebrating the 4th of July like any American family, right? Okay. Suddenly, they were attacked by the New York City Police Department. Tear gas, automatic weapons. The family didn't even have a chance to identify or say, why, what's going on? They were just raided. And the father just having a barbecue spatula in his hand, gun, shot down dead immediately. A case of mistaken identity, but clearly you can see these are children, and the children shot down. A whole family of Black people shot down. The mayor and the police chief of the state of the city of New York say that it was a case of mistaken identity. And the culprits they was looking for are so dangerous that the officers they were already taught or trained do what you have to do. Don't ask no questions. The people they were looking for, they claim to be extremely dangerous. But now they know that this was an innocent family. And you don't see any remorse or anything. And the police said the same thing they always say. We was just doing our job. This was not dark. This was broad daylight, brothers and sisters. A whole family of 5, a mother, a father, children. Think a family of 6, perhaps. Outrage from the soul community all over the country. Protests. You know how we do. Some of us want to take up arms. Some of us ready to go to war. But of course, you got the preachers and all these other folks. Calm down. Y'all know how we do it. Calm down. Let the wheels of justice. There's no doubt. We're going to get justice. This is broad daylight. A family of 6. We're going to get justice. You don't have to worry about it. Y'all just settle down. That's what we was told. July, August, September, October. And the verdict comes in. And the jury finds Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Reality's Tip on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. When I first saw your channel, I said, oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned. Yes, most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, what is he talking about?
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
If you say that I'm divine and I'm a prophet, where the hell did your ass go to? Why aren't you heeding the call? Since I'm a prophet, since I'm divine. Some people, excuse the language, some people just like talking out their ass. 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 That's what they like to do.
Peace forever and always. My black people, it's all about the unity. It's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
The jury finds the police officers not guilty. And of course, there's outrage. And of course, The younger people don't want to hear it no more. The young people don't want to hear it no more, to the point where the grave of Jesse Jackson Sr. was desecrated. Of course, the neighborhoods start going up in fire. But then all of a sudden it gets quiet. Why is it getting quiet? My father was watching all this, and he got a telephone call from somebody. And this person was saying, man, what do we do? What do we do? And my father said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I tried to get you to listen and implement the Mississippi campaign. This is not to say that these type of things would not happen, but when you implemented that campaign, we would be in a much better position to deal with things of this nature. And now, but if you want to listen, I have something that we can do. And my father looked at his wife, and my father looked at me. And my father is now in his 60s, going on 70 years old. And he told my mother, I'm too old for this, but I have to do this for them. They were hard-headed. They did not listen. But they don't know what to do. If I don't help them, they don't have a chance. Because after this, they're going to put themselves in a position where surely they are going to be slaughtered wholesale and exterminated. And that'll just be the end of it. That includes my son. And he looked at me. And he told my mother, well, it's time for me to die. And my mother just didn't even trip off of it. She was like, I know. And I'm like, what? Daddy. So what a lot of people don't know is my father, when the Mississippi campaign was rejected, he just stayed in the cut. And there were some brothers he stayed in touch with who weren't ready to play no games. And now this was no time to play games. And the people, because they lost everything. There's a drought, there's a food shortage. You ain't got nothing. Your car don't mean nothing. Your money don't mean nothing. Your education don't mean nothing. Nothing. You don't have nothing to lose. It's come down to you don't have nothing to lose. So my father had a plan for them. And you can't depend upon me, because when they find out, and they will find out because you have Negroes that will sell you out, they will find out. When they kill me dead, you must be able to understand what to do to continue this war, this fight. And so actually, the murder of that family started the race war of 2028. And my father and these other brave brothers and sisters, in fact, really, the soul community had gotten to the point we were ready to go to war, all of us. We were not divided. We knew where everybody stood. This is it. The majority of us, we knew. This is what my father told the fighters, those who were ready to do what it was necessary. They say, brother, what do we do? He said, look, whatever arms that you can get, You get them. You get them. But this is what I want you to do. We're going to play it smart here. Do not hurt civilians. The white people will kill us. The white folks will kill us. These racists, this government, they will kill us. But we do not kill them. We don't go out and murder folks for no reason. We don't become terrorists. Don't do that. Only in certain situations where you must defend your life, then you defend yourself. But we do not go out and hurt civilians, because in the eyes of the world, we will look like terrorists. Just run around murdering people because they white or whatever. You don't want that. We need the eyes, we need the world, we need the attention of the world be brought on us to show the devilishment, the racism, the evil that's going on in this country. So when they talk about we are domestic terrorists, the first question that needs to be asked, who have we killed? Who have we murdered? But look at them. How many of us have they murdered? How many of us have they killed? We don't want that. We want to play things smart. You don't have nothing to lose. So we do minor things, and we want to fill the prisons and the jails. Since they want us in prison, since they want us in jail, let's go. Take your whole family, go to prison, go to jail. This is the strategy to lead, that's going to lead you to the promised land that Dr. King talked about. You got to play it smart. You're dealing with an enemy that's more powerful than you. You cannot deal with this enemy straight up. You don't have the firepower. You do little things. Okay, y'all want to play games with us? Then let's play the game. This is what you have to understand. When it comes to winning or losing a war, this is what you have to understand. The loss or the win is based on what you want. The South, during the Civil War, they was considered they lost the war. But at the same time, look how they was treated after the war. They were treated like with kid gloves. The federal government was real careful how they treated the South because they did not want another war. And this is what we must do. Put ourselves in a position so that these suckers, you don't want to mess with us again. We have never put an ass whooping on them. But how are we going to put an ass whooping on them, but we don't kill them? This is what we're going to do. We're here. We are here. So this is what we do. And you let the people know, well, we're suffering already, but you're going to have to suffer some more. You're going to have to sacrifice some more. You're going to have to support those on the battlefield, those who are willing to do the fight. Simple things that we do in this country. Trash on the highway. Just throw trash on the highway. Trash on the highway, interrupt the highway system. Just throw trash and glass and nails and garbage on the highway. Put their trucks on flat. Tear down the power lines. Dig up gas lines. Make sure when you dig up the gas line that nobody can get hurt. Don't let it blow up. They talk about, well, they killed. No, we're not killing nobody. Set all the houses that you can on fire. Make sure nobody's in there. Set their crap on fire. All these houses and things. These people are materialistic. So they can't go to their jobs. So they can't do the things they normally do. In the rural areas, burn down their wheat fields and corn and soybean fields. Let the animals go. Let the pigs go. Let the cows go. Open it all up. Just break windows out of houses. All kinds of little minor. You know, it reminds you of a mosquito. You know, the mosquito, here you are big as you are, but a mosquito can pest the hell out of you. You bat like messing with it. You know, eventually you will swat the mosquito But look at all the bites. Look at all the bites that the mosquito do. This is what you want to do. You want to gain international attention because if it comes down to a firefight, perhaps you could get help from other people. Maybe you can get help from the Mexican community and others if you do right. But see, you get caught up in all this racist stuff. So you have mercenaries from Mexico and South America. You don't know what mercenaries for hire, hired guns. You have to ostracize yourself from those. You don't want to kill those people that you call coons and Uncle Toms. They don't know no better. But you want to ostracize yourself from them because they won't be accepted by the races and they will not be accepted by us either. So they be people without a country or people of nothing. And of course, you know, some of these Negroes going to be on the side of the racists, part of the police department, part of the military, out to murder us. But if we do these different things, because of the nitpicking, you don't have to mess with them outright. Because you live in a society where everything is dependent upon electricity, and every time you turn around, we tear down their electrical lines. Dig up the gas lines. Tear up the railroad tracks. Mess up the highways. If you get dynamite, blow up, don't have to blow up the whole bridge, just make it where it's unsafe for cars and trucks to go across. All kinds of little stuff like that. And we will continue to do that, and you keep doing that until these bastards say, all right, look, okay, let's talk. Let's talk. And so my father and the other brothers, that's what they done. And many black folks went to jail. Many black folks went to prison, and the prison is already overcrowded, and they didn't know what to do. And you might have electricity, and you might not have electricity, and your car might be ready to go. It might be on flat. Somebody will siphon all the gas out of it, all kinds of stuff. And it's just all this going on. There's no peace. If black folks can't live in peace, nobody is going to live in peace. And nobody is out here telling the brothers and sisters, calm down. No, we got to do what we have to do. And should have done it a long time ago. And actually, we wouldn't even have to be going through something like this if we had implemented Operation Exodus Mississippi, because it put you in a better fighting position. But now, you just got to do the best that you can and use the best strategy that you can come up with. And so America is big and strong, but the mosquito is still getting. And they can't charge my father or none of these brothers and sisters with murder, only vandalism. You can't say terrorism because nobody being terrorized. Nobody is being harmed. There are skirmishes, and there are very few firefights because the key is violent, is non-violence. Really. You need that on your side. And so we have those looking around the earth. The other nations is looking at America, always trying to be humanitarian in other people's business, telling other people what to do. And they looking at how these brothers and sisters who are crying out because of an injustice, being treated wrong 500 years, and now the rest of the world is seeing America for what it really is, the racist devils that they truly are. It got to Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Realities Tip on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. When I first saw your channel, I said, oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned. Yes, most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, what is he talking about?
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
If you say that I'm divine and I'm a prophet, where the hell did your ass go to? Why aren't you heeding the call? Since I'm a prophet, since I'm divine. Some people, excuse the language, some people just like talking out their ass. 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 That's what they like to do.
Peace forever and always. My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.
So I'm not your enemy.
I wanna talk to
I know who the enemy is.
I wanna talk.
You wasting your time making mockery of me. Oh, I'm crazy. My brain is damaged. My EnVogue poster. I'm miserable in my life. All this nonsense that you talk about. And you a slave, just like me, in a racist nation.
I believe that with you by my side, together we can touch the skies.
Fucked up too is when you talk proudly about black women, everyone gets upset. Everyone gets mad. Because the hatred of black people is so ingrained that if I go, black women are amazing. Well, you're being racist. What the fuck? Does that even make any sense? That doesn't even make any sense. Black women are the shit. They age the best. They got the best bodies. You motherfuckers age early. Fuck you. You feel me? And you copy everything from black women. You dance like them. You talk like them. You ever see other races when girls want to get an attitude? They do this shit. They go, I see Asian girls doing it. I see Latin girls. It's black women shit. Right? Yeah. You get everything from black women. Even gay white men steal shit from black women. Girl, honey. The fuck out of here. Black women are the trend.
To the point where President Donald Trump Jr. got to the point where he was making a speech and he couldn't even hold back no more. And he basically said, we got to do something about these niggas. That's what he said. And he tried to clean it up, but he was like, oh, you know, come on, you don't tell me that you're not thinking that yourself. And nobody really said nothing because that's how people was thinking. These niggas, what are they doing? And what they really wanted was an outright war. And they wasn't getting that. They wasn't getting the kind of race war they thought in their mind they should be getting. Oh, everybody go get their AK-47 and all that kind of stuff. Let's go kill the niggas. And there's no repercussions. The eyes of the world is looking at this And the only thing they could do is turn their nose up at America. Even some of the Caucasian people in this country and other citizens are starting to get sick at how all this has turned out. And one thing that happened that make this whole thing turn around is one day, myself and my mother, we were just watching TV. And the FBI burst in our door. They finally found out that it was my father that was leading and guiding these people. And they basically took me and my mother hostage. And they put out in the media that my father had to turn himself in, or they cannot promise that something bad wouldn't happen to my mother and myself. And my mother was hoping that my father would not turn himself in. My father decided to turn himself in to save us. And this was on national TV. And my father was trying to give himself up. He had no weapons or anything like we normally we don't do. He didn't have no weapon. The only thing they could really accuse the people they was calling domestic terrorists with vandalism. Nobody was being murdered. Nobody was being killed. Nobody was being terrorized. Just the infrastructure. The way of life was being disturbed. My father came out to give himself up. And one of those Peckerwoods just shot him dead. And then when that Peckerwood shot, others shot out of a reaction. And my mother and myself and my mother, we watched my daddy gunned down right there on national TV. And even the Uncle Tom cats, the ones y'all call Uncle Tom Cool, even they had to speak out. That was just outrageous. It was just outrageous. Other nations, after this event, made threats against the United States. America had a race war basically going on in the side. They cannot protect the borders. Countless people was coming inside the borders of the United States. And President Donald Trump Jr. was given an ultimatum from the world, really. You will cease and you will desist. China and Russia, other nations in Africa, all over the world, told the United States, you're going to stop right now. And of course, the racists try to be tough and whatever, but they went through negotiations. And now we are living in a place after this race war. Many suffered, many died. But we are living in the type of manner that my father always wanted us to live. We have established our own state and states here in 2040. There's a different president today who is now looking not to have something like this happen again in order to save this United States of America. We have found a place upon a land where we can establish not our own homeland for those who are the descendants of slaves with African or Aboriginal ancestry. It's been a long, long road. And after all this death and destruction, because of all this and how this went down, and we knew that the only people we could depend upon really was ourselves. It took all this death and destruction and all these things to happen. And now we can finally begin to call ourselves a people and look at ourselves as a people instead of that group over there, this group over there, and so on. There are now laws on the books created by soul brothers and sisters that white people obey. For hundreds and hundreds of years, there was not one law, there was no kind of policy that white folks or anybody had to obey that was created by dark-skinned people, soul brothers and sisters. Now we do. We got laws on the books. And Caucasian people have to obey the laws created by dark-skinned people. And these things, it's not like they really wanted to, but if they wanted to survive, you can't. America is bad. Nuclear weapons and all this kind of stuff. But you can't fight the whole world. You want to try to nuke the whole world, then you might as well say you're ready to die too. So if you want to live, all of us want to live. Like Spike Lee said, have to learn how to do the right thing. You have to try to do it. So now, here we are, 12 years from what was called the race war of 2028. And I just want to bring remembrance and tell that story and revisit, and we tell our children and our children's children about the brave men and women. Unfortunately, they could have done something much better, but they didn't. But we want to still remember them for getting to the point and said, the hell with it. They refused to become docile, and they just went for it. They filled the jails and the prisons. They did what was necessary in order to put themselves in a position to survive and put us in their children in a better position. So I want to thank all of those who fought, those who died, those who sacrificed. My mother is gone. She's passed since that time. So I don't have, my father and mother, they adopted me. They was my only family, and I appreciate that. I miss them. And I appreciate, and all of us should appreciate the sacrifice that my parents and all those who said enough is enough, who echoed the words of our sister Fannie Lou Hamer, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I done stood. All I can stand, I can't stand no more. And they found a way for us to make it. So now the only thing we have to do is stay on the path. The things that they set in motion, and if we stay there, we can do very, very well in this time. I'm getting old myself. So I say this to our youth. Those of you who carry the torch. Don't never forget the past. Never forget those who who led the way so that you could be where you are today. Remember what happened. You don't want to be like what we was. We want to bring in something new. So now there is no drought. There's no food shortage. It's still not happiness. It's still not good. But now we know that way of life, the way that we was doing things, the way that was going on. We don't want to do that. You know you don't want to do that. You want to be something new. You want to bring forth something new. You want to make a transformation, like my father said in the Mississippi campaign. We want to become something new. We are not a color. We're not a skin color. We know we're a people now. And we want to look out for ourselves, but you don't want to cause harm to other people. We need to learn how to live in harmony and share. I mean, life is, like my father said, life is not meant to be happiness all the time. You're going to have your problems. But during the time of my father and my mother, it's something that the Bible calls nothing but pure hell. And people made that because of their greed, because somebody wanted to be better than one another. Because a man think he better than a woman. Sexism, that type of thing. We want to get rid of all those kinds of things. We want to bring into a new reality where there's justice for everybody, regardless of your skin color. These differences shouldn't even be a factor no more. Just treat a person like you want to be treated. You don't want to be a slave, so why do you want to make a slave out of somebody? You want to eat. Why can't other people eat? Why are you going to deny other folks some of those apples from the tree? So there's a lot of lessons that we had to learn. And like my father said, just because you lose a fight don't mean you lose a fight. In this case, we won. We died. We used to die and didn't get nothing. Now we die and we won. So thank you for joining me tonight.
Your living room, as long as it's around your home. Send love to Brother Tyler, but after all is said and done, too bad and go to Louisiana, you're the one. We're here, I can't tell a man not to defend himself. Not at this late stage. Can't tell a man he ain't got no right to nowhere. Not in this day and age.
And as always in parting, we wish you...
Come on and jam with us next week on these same stations, and you can bet your last money it's all going to be a stone gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace, and silver.